Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be playing the last four domination. So the way it works, we're going to make a bet selection based on the last four outcomes. We're going to be playing the outside bets. So I'm using a 600 unit bankroll for this strategy. To be on the safe side, you can use 1,000 units. Now remember, units can be anything. It could be a 25-cent wager, 50 cent, $1, $5, whatever. But I'm just whatever you're using, just make sure that you have at least 600 units. So the way it works, we're going to be looking at the last four outcomes. So as you can see, there's number 2, 14, 8 and number 24. So that's the four numbers in the last outcome. So we notice that there's 3 black. So we're going to place 1 unit on black because black is dominating the last four outcomes. There's 3 blacks and only 1 red. So we look at there's number 2, 14, 8, 24. So we know even is dominating the last four numbers. And we look at high and low. So there's 3 low and 1 high. So low is dominating the last four outcomes. So we have our bets there. We're looking for 1 unit profit. So we have a win. We have our 1 unit profit. Now we lost on black. We're not focusing on the loss. We're looking back now at the last four outcomes. We're seeing that even is still dominating. We're seeing low is dominating, and there's 2 black numbers and 2 red numbers. So there's neither is dominating each other. There's 2 black and 2 red. So we don't have any bets for the colors. So we have a bet on low and even. We're going to spin. We're looking for 2 units profit. So we won on both bets. We're up to 3 units in profit. We look back, we see that low is still dominating, we see that even is still dominating, and there's 2 black and 2 red. So still no bets for the colors. So we are up 3 units. We are looking to make a 4 units profit. Our overall session is 10 units. When we make 10 units, we're gonna take a 5-10 minute break and then come back again. Now we have a win there. We won on low, but we lost on even. As long as you have a win, you are going to keep your bets the same, and you're just going to look back to the last four outcomes. So we're seeing that low is still dominating. I'm going to place 1 unit on low because I had a win. Now I didn't lose and I didn't profit anything, but I'm keeping my bets to the same. Now if I'm covering 3 outside bets and I have 1 win and 2 losses, I am still keeping my bet to the same. So let's move along. As we move along, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So there's 2 black, 2 red. There's no bets there for the colors. There's 3 even numbers and 1 odd. So we know that even is dominating. So we're looking for 4 units profit. So we won on both bets. We see that low is still dominating. We place 1 unit on low. We have made our target. We're up to 5 units profit. So our new target is going to be 6 units. Remember, when we are at 10 units profit, we're going to take a 5-10 minute break and then come back again. So low is dominating. We see that even is still dominating, and there's still 2 red and 2 black numbers in the last 4 outcomes. So that's all the bet that we have there. We're going to go with that. Target is 6 units profit. So we lost on low, we won on even. Didn't make any profit, but we didn't lost either. So we're going to play. We see that there's 3 black numbers. Black is dominating. We see that low is dominating, and we see that even is dominating. So now we have 3 bets. Our target remains the same. We're playing for 6 units profit. Our overall target is going to be 10 units per session. So we have a win on low and even. We lost on the black. We made our target. We made our 6 units. We're going to look back. We see that there's 3 even numbers. we're going to place a bet on even. There's 3 low numbers, we're going to place a bet on low. There's 2 red and 2 black, so there's no bets for the colors. We're going to go with that. Our target now is 7 units. So we have a win. We didn't made any profit, didn't lose either. So we're looking back now, we're seeing that black is dominating. We place 1 unit on black. We see that there's 13, 18 and number 6. So there's low dominating. There's 3 low numbers there. Now we look at even and odd. We see that there's 3 even numbers. Even is dominating. So we are covering 3 outside bets. Our target is 7 units. Right, so we lost. This is what I was explaining to you earlier. Now we lost 1 unit. We were covering 3 bets. We only had 1 hit and we lost on the next 2. But I'm not going to increase my bet. I'm going to keep my bets to the same. As long as I have a win, I am keeping my bets to the same. So I see that low is still dominating. I place 1 unit on low. I see that there's 2 even numbers and there's 2 odd numbers. There's 2 red and 2 black. So there's no bets for the colors. There's no bets for even and odd. So low is the only bet that I have. I'm going to go with that. And I have a high number, so I lose. Now that I lose, I can now increase my bet by 1 unit. So I'm seeing that there's 3 odd numbers. There's 31, 3 and 13. So I didn't have a win there. So I'm going to increase my base bet by 1 unit. My base bet is now 2 units. There's 2 red numbers, 2 black numbers, so there's no bets there. There's 3 low numbers. So I'm going to place 2 units on low. Whatever you are betting on each bet, like as I bet 2 units on odd, if you have dominating on 1 to 18, I'm going to place the same amount. So I'm going to have equal bets on each of my outside bets. So I have 2 units on odd, 2 units on 1 to 18. So let's have a spin. My target is 7 units. So I have a win on low, I lost on odd. I see that black is still dominating. I'm going to place 2 units on black. I see that odd is dominating. I place 2 units on odd. And there's 3 low numbers. I place 2 units on low. So I have a win. I lost 2 units because I only hit on the odd. I lost on black and low, but I'm keeping my bets to the same because I had a win. So I'm looking at my last 4 outcomes. I'm seeing that odd is still dominating. I have 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers, 2 red and 2 black, so I have no bets there. I'm just going to go with what I have. I have a hit on odd, but I'm playing for 7 units profit. If I check my profits, I'm down, so I'm going to keep my bets to the same once I'm down. So I'm still betting 2 units. I'm seeing that I'm having 3 odd numbers, so I'm going to place my bet on odd. I have 2 red numbers, 2 black numbers, and I have 3 high numbers. I have 19, 21 and 31, so I place my bet on high. So I lose both bets. Now I have to increase my bet by 1 unit. My base bet is now going to be 3 units. I see that red is dominating. I place 3 units on red. I see that there's 2 even, there's 2 odd, 2 high and 2 low. So red is the only bet that I have. I'm going to go with that. And I lose. My base bet now increased by 1 unit, so my base bet is now 4 units. I see red is dominating. I place my 4 units on red. I have 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers, 2 even numbers, 2 odd numbers, so there's no bets there. Only bet that I had was red. So I have a hit on red. Going to keep my bets to the same 4 units. Red is still dominating. I place 4 units on red. I have 2 even, 2 odd, and I have 3 low numbers. So I'm going to place 4 units on low. So I lose both bets. My base bet now moves to 5 units. I look back. I see that I have 2 even numbers, 2 odd numbers, 2 red, 2 black. I have 3 low numbers. So I'm going to place my 5 units on low. I'm down 7 units. I'm looking for 7 units profit. So I had a win there. I'm not going to drop my bet, and I'm not going to increase. I'm just going to keep it at 5 units. I have 3 black numbers in the last 4 outcomes. I place a unit on, I place my base bet on black. I see that I have 3 odd numbers. I place a bet on odd. And I have 3 low numbers. Place a bet on low. So I have a hit. I hit on odd. I lost on black and low. So I look back. I see that odd is dominating completely. There's 4 odd numbers. So I place my bet on odd. I have 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers, 2 red and 2 black. So there's no bets there. So I lose again. My base bet now moves to 6 units. I place 6 units on black. Black is dominating the last 4 outcomes. I see that high is dominating the last 4 outcomes. And there's now even and odd. I have 3 odd numbers. So I place my bet on odd. My target is 7 units profit, and I'm down 12 units currently. So I have a win. My base bet remains 6 units. I have 3 odd numbers. I have 3 high numbers. And there's 2 red and 2 black, so there's no bets this rounds with the colors. So I lose both bets. My base bet now moves to 7 units. I see that red is dominating. I place 7 units on red. I see that high dominating. I place 7 units on high. And there's even and odd. There's 2 even numbers and 2 odd numbers. So I have no bets there. I'm down 18 units. I'm looking for 7 units profit. So I still had a win, didn't make any profit, keeping my bet to the same, 7 units. High is dominating. I place 7 units on high. There's 2 red, 2 black, so there's no bets there. There's 3 even numbers. So I place my bet on even. So I won both bets. I checked my profits. I'm still down 4 units. My last bet was 7 units. I'm going to stay at 7 units. I'm seeing that high is dominating. I place my 7 units on high. I see that even is dominating. 7 units on even. And I have 2 red and 2 black, so there's no bets there. So I have a hit. I won on both bets. I've made my 10 units target. So I take a break, 5-10 minutes. I come back again and I play for another 10 units profit. So let's have a go again. This time I'll move a little bit faster. See, I think you guys have the hang of it already. So I see that even is dominating. I place 1 unit on even. I see that high is dominating. place a unit on high, and there's 2 red 2 black, so there's no bets there. So let's go. I'm playing for anything greater than 10 units. I see black is dominating. I had a win, keeping my bets to the same. Even is still dominating, and I see that high is dominating. I have 3 bets. So I have a win again. I have 2 red 2 black, there's no bets there. I have high dominating and even dominating. So I won. I made 11 units. I made my 1 unit profit. So now I'm going to look at the last 4 outcomes. I'm seeing high still dominating. I'm seeing that even is still dominating. There's 2 red 2 black, there's no bets there. I'm playing for anything greater than 11 units. My overall target is going to be 20 units. So I lose both bets. My base bet now moves to 2 units. I see that I have 2 even, 2 odd, 2 red, 2 black, 2 high and 2 low. When you have an outcome like that, you are just going to rebet your last bet. And now I have to make my base bet 2 units. So you see that the last 4 outcomes, there's nothing dominating each other. There's 2 even, 2 odd, 2 red, 2 black, 2 high, 2 low. So if you have a 0, in that case you're just going to ignore that 0. Now you're going to increase your bets if you don't have a win, if 0 comes, but you're not going to acknowledge 0 on the last outcome. So let's say we had, forget number 10 just came. Let's pretend number 10 was a 0. Now before 0 you would have 9, 26, 27 and number 2. If you had a 0, if number 10 was a 0, you're just going to completely ignore that, and you're going to use number 9, 26, 27 and number 2 as your last 4 outcomes. And if the 0 is in between, let's say it's 9, 26 and 0, 27, 2, you're going to ignore the 0, going to use 9, 26, 27 and 2. Just don't acknowledge a 0, but you have to increase your bets if you have no wins. So just to make that clear, so we're down 9 units. We're looking for anything greater than 11 units profit. Now I have 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers, 2 red, 2 black, 2 even, 2 odd. So I'm going to repeat my bet. So now I had a win before. I had a win on even. So I'm not going to increase my bets. I'm going to stay at 2 units. Now that I lose on both bets, I'm going to increase by 1 unit. So I have 3 low numbers. So my base bet is now 3 units. I have 2 red, 2 black, and I have 2 even, 2 odd. So low is the only bet that I have. I'm down to 5 units in profit. I'm looking for anything greater than 11 units. Alright, so I lose again. I need to increase my base bet by 1 unit. I see red is dominating. My base bet is now 4 units. I see low is dominating. I place my bets on low. And there's even and odd. I see that odd is dominating. So I have 3 bets there. So I just want to try to get a little bit a little losing streak, so I can show you how you can recover. So I lose all my bets there. I now have to increase to 5 units on each bet. I have 2 red, 2 black. I have 2 high, 2 low, 2 even, 2 odd. So I just need to rebet, increase my bets by 1 unit. When I have that result, so I have a win. My base bet remains 5 units. I have 3 red. I have 2 high, 2 low, 2 even and 2 odd. So red is the only bet that I have there. I'm down 5 units, looking for anything greater than 11 units. So I lose. My base bet now needs to move to 6 units. I have 2 even, 2 odd, 2 red, 2 black, 2 high and 2 low. So I'm just going to repeat my last bet. I'm down 10 units. So I have a hit, still not in profit. I'm going to stay at 6 units as my base bet. I have 3 even numbers, so my base bet is 6 units. I play 6 units on even. I have 2 high, 2 low, 2 red and 2 black, so that's the only bet that I have there. I lose. My base bet now needs to move to 7 units. I increase 1. I'm at 7 units. I have 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers, 2 even and 2 odd. Red is the only bet that I have. I'm down 10 units. I have a hit, so my base bet remains 7 units. Still not in profit. Red is dominating. I see that odd is dominating. I place my bet on odd, and there's 3 high numbers. I place my bet on high. My total bet is 21 units to cover those 3 outside bets. So I had a hit. I lost 7 units, but I still had a hit, so I'm keeping my base bet to the same. Red is still dominating. I see that high is still dominating and odd is still dominating. So it's basically my same bets back there, 21 units to cover those 3 bets. Playing for anything greater than 11 units, and I'm down 10 units. So I had a win again. I see red is still dominating. Once I have a win, even if it's just 1 win, I'm keeping my bets to the same. I see that there's 2 high and 2 low numbers, and there's 4 odd numbers, so odd is completely dominating. Cover red and odd. I'm down 3 units. So no profit, no loss. I look back, I see that red is still dominating. Cover red. I see that low is dominating. I cover low, and there's odd. So that's my 3 bets there. I'm down 3 units. So I won all 3 bets. I check my profits. I'm up to 18 units. My base bet was at 7 units each. Now that I'm in profit, I was playing for anything over 11 units. I'm up at 18. I move back to my base bet at 1 unit because I'm in profit. My overall target is 10 units per session, so I'm just playing for 20 units profit. I see that red is dominating. I place a unit on red. I place a unit on low, and I see that odd is also dominating. That's my 3 bets there. So I have a hit. My bets remain the same, 1 unit. Red is dominating. I see that low dominating, odd still dominating. That's my 3 bets. 20 units is my target. So I have a hit, still sticking at 1 unit as my base bet. Now I have no bets on the colors because I have 2 red numbers, 2 black numbers. I have 3 low numbers, so I have a bet there. And then I have 2 even and 2 odd, so there's no bets there. So I have a hit on low. I see that there's 3 low numbers. I cover low. There's 2 red, 2 black. There's no bets there. There's 3 odd numbers. I cover odd. I lose on both bets. My base bet is now 2 units. black is dominating, I cover black. I see that there's 2 even, there's 2 odd, so there's no bets there. And there's 2 high and 2 low, so there's no bets there either. So I lose on black. My base bet now increased by 1. My base bet is now going to be 3 units. I see that there's 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers, 2 red, 2 black, 2 even and 2 odd. So I'm just going to repeat my last bet. I needed to increase by 1 unit because I lost on my last spin. I'm down to 13 units. I'm playing for 20 units profit. So I had a win. I'm still not in profit. I was up at 18 units. So I'm going to keep my bets at 3 units. My base bet at 3 units. So I see that there's odd dominating. I place 3 units on odd. I see that there's 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers. I have no bets there. And there's 2 red and 2 black. I have no bets there also. So I have a hit on odd. Now I was at 18 units. I just made 1 unit profit, but I'm not going to keep my bets at 3 units. I'm going to move back at betting 1 unit because I've made 1 unit profit. So I see that there's 3 odd numbers. I place my bet on odd. There's 2 high numbers, 2 low numbers, 2 black and 2 red. So there's no bets there. Odd is the only bet that I can make there. I lose. My base bet now moves to 2 units. I see that there's 3 odd numbers, so I cover odd. There's 2 high, 2 low, 2 black and 2 red, so there's no bets there. Odd is the only bet I have again. I lose. My base bet now moves to 3 units. Now I see that black is dominating. I cover black. I see that there's 2 even, there's 2 odd numbers, so I have no bets with even and odd. And I see that there's 3 low numbers, so I have a bet there. Target still remains 20 units profit. So I have a hit on both of my bets. I check my profit. I'm up at 22 units. Now if you look at my hit rate and my miss rate, it's 50%, meaning that I've won and lost the same amount of bets, but I still managed to make my target of 10 units per session. I played 2 sessions and I crossed by 2 units. I was supposed to be on 20 units profit. I made 22 units in just a few minutes. So it can be up and down, guys, if you have a little bit of patience with it. Now you can see that we were using a 600 unit bankroll. Not at any point in time that I risked my bankroll. My bankroll was never in any danger at any point in time. We were just having miss and losses. We were having losses and wins, but a bankroll was never in any danger. So it's a very fun strategy. Just looking back at the last 4 outcomes, whichever is dominating. So you see that black is dominating there. You just place a unit on black. You see that low is dominating. There's 11, 10 and number 9, so you know that low is dominating. Once you have a 3 are the same outcomes, 3 low, 3 high, 3 even, you know, so you place your bet like that. If you have 2 red, 2 black, 2 even, 2 odd and 2 high, 2 low, you just repeat your last bet, and if you need to increase your bets, you increase your base bet. And that's it, guys. You play for 10 units per session. When you have made that 10 units, you take a 5-10 minute break and you come back again. So I hope you guys enjoy the strategy. I hope it brings you some easy profits, and I thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, guys. I hope you all are well. I hope you all are staying safe in these crazy times that we're living in. So I really hope you all are staying safe and taking all the precautions that you need to take, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Always play responsibly. Remember, roulette is a risky and unpredictable game. Never use money that you can't afford to lose. And have a good one, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.